All right. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Jody Plays with His Windscreen because it keeps falling. No, this is the Kingdom of the Kael Isles. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to. It helps if I mute my stream when I have it open so that I can look at chat. Yeah. Brain not work very well. You guys didn't hear it, but they just heard the intro again because I forgot to mute my Twitch. But it's done. It's over. Anyway, this is my custom D&D game. The people below me are the ones that weren't smart enough to say, you know what, I have something else going on that day. When I asked them, hey, do you want to play D&D with me? And yeah, we actually have a full team here. We haven't had the full team in a while. So that means I can throw even tougher monsters at them, which is so much more fun.
No.
Beholders are a lot cuddlier than they look, okay? I'm just saying.
No.
So to kind of bring people up to speed, these guys have kind of formed a resistance against the Eladrin Magocracy that rules this area of the world called the Kingdom of the Kael Isles, and they have been going on various quests to kind of prepare themselves to overthrow the government. They've started gathering allies. They've started arming themselves a little bit better. Fade specifically is now searching for someone who can forge a weapon that's kind of been shown to him by his deity. And we'll also be looking for shards of the previous chosen's weapons that can be reforged into his. And everyone else is kind of looking for, their own kind of thing. Most recently, they've started, their kind of secret base has started growing to more and more people, and they're starting to get more and more people to rally to their cause, but they need people to train these new recruits that have never held a sword before, have never thought about fighting an entire government. And so they had this brilliant plan where they would sneak themselves into the arena and convince some of the gladiators there to come back with them, not only for their battle prowess, but for their ability to kind of impart that information onto these other troops. The plan originally was they'd get there, they'd pay off the head of the arena, find the gladiators, and then sneak out. The plan went as well as it could have until the guy that runs the arena decided, hey, I'm just going to take the money and I'm going to keep you guys here because you're going to make me even more money and your little resistance isn't big enough to do a damn thing to me. So that's where they were. Last week, they faced off against creatures they had never seen before. Were very exotic. Were obviously something was wrong with these creatures because they were foaming at the mouth and their eyes were all dilated and things like that. But they were very aggressive. Elaine knows exactly how aggressive they were, and they fought them in this massive arena. The arena itself. The ground was basically all sand. The walls separating them from the onlookers were, I think it was 30 feet high. I have to remember again. Numbers are hard, folks. Stay in school. And they literally have just finished felling these massive, massive creatures. Their wounds are still bleeding. They still feel really, really rough. But the crowd has gone absolutely wild. Fade has been attempting to get the crowd to kind of come to their side and has not been doing remarkably well. You guys are starting to notice bits of food and things like that are being thrown at you, pieces of moldy bread and things like that. But every so often, you will see a flower or you will see something shiny hit the arena floor. So, and overall, the crowd is cheering so loud that you can't really figure out if they're upset that you won or if they're happy that you won. It's just this raucous amount of noise. You get the idea that there are probably thousands of people in this stadium. As you guys are kind of standing there, wiping off some of the dirt and the blood, trying to get your bearings, from four separate entrances that previously looked like just flat walls, you see about a dozen guards come out with very long spears and a few other weapons. Each group has at least one member that has this very bizarre looking polearm type weapon where instead of having like a spear tip or something like that, it splits off and has this kind of Y shape with two things kind of poking in like this. You have kind of this thing like this coming towards you, and you can see a different entrance than the one that you guys entered the arena from has opened, and it looks like they're trying to kind of push you in that general
Okay,
direction.
I'm going to I go into my regular form because when we left off, I was still a giant ape.
Okay, so you guys watch as Kata shrinks down to the size, to her regular size, from the relatively large ape-like form she had been holding. You can hear them all kind of screaming at you. They're all wearing relatively heavy armor, so it's really, really difficult to kind of figure out their race. Beyond the fact that they're humanoid, of varying heights, and you don't see any that would be small enough to be gnomes or halflings. So what would you guys like to do? You have, again, these four groups of people yelling things. Some of them, Fade, you have no trouble understanding any of what they're saying because for the most part they're speaking common. Every so often they'll throw a bit of a ladrin in there, and Fade speaking both of those, you can tell the bits of Eladrin that they throw in, you probably don't need to translate.
Yeah.
So, what would you guys like to do?
No, I probably, even though I don't speak Legend, I probably recognize those because I've probably been called them so many
Yeah,
times.
there's a couple that are familiar to you. There's a couple you've never heard before, which is impressive to you. Because despite not recognizing the word, with how they're being used, you get a pretty good idea of what kind of words they are.
Ew.
So,
All right. Apox just like, okay, fellas, put down the little pitchforks and
make me a
whatever.
dexterity saving throw.
Okay. That's my ducks.
This feels oddly familiar.
That's gonna be a 19 plus 3 is 22.
You feel kind of almost like a danger sense type thing, where you can tell something is coming from behind you. You're not sure if it's from shadows on the ground or just kind of watching the crowd and seeing something. But you feel the scrape of two metal items start going across your neck and actually drawing a little bit of blood as one of those two-pronged spear things starts to go around your neck. And you instantly kind of grab for it, realize that you don't have the angle to stop them from putting it, from continuing to get it to a point where you can't break out of it. So your response is instantly to kind of roll and flip yourself onto the ground, take it on your shoulder and roll back up. And because of how you moved, the thing immediately is jerked back and they're not able to get it around your throat. However, you do take 1 point of slashing damage as they...
I'm still raging technically.
yeah, so technically you take No points of slashing damage. But it does draw just the slightest bit of blood on there. And they kind of look at you, and they start screaming for you to go into the opening over there, and they keep getting closer. I'd like the rest of you guys to make dexterity saving throws for me.
Okay. Oh my god!
So that went well.
I mean,
All
I
right.
stepped on a dinosaur, so you know.
Oh,
That rolled a
Elaine,
one.
are you still unconscious?
No, I'm conscious. I got healed right at the end, but
Oh, okay.
I did roll a 1.
Okay. Fade?
Me too, Fade.
15.
What?
15.
15. Okay, and Song?
Oh, I'm going.
Oh, you're not fighting it? Okay.
No, I'm going.
So, Elaine and Kata, you guys feel a very similar sensation where you feel these two kind of slices along your neck, not deep enough to do any damage. And then you have this almost collar-like thing on the end of a pole that the way that it controls you is it has two spikes that are sticking into your neck right here. And if you fight it at all, they start to dig in and draw blood. And they're actually positioned perfectly to sever your arteries that go to your brain.
Oh god!
We're going.
Fade, I have to roll for you because you rolled high enough that they wouldn't auto-succeed. You see what's happening, and you start to dodge around. And having heavier armor, you have neck protection. It's been damaged a little bit by the improvements that old One Eye made.
Such great improvements.
So you start moving a little bit and try and dodge out, and you actually do dodge out of one and run right into another one that gets you completely. And despite having your armor, you see the guy kind of twists it and pulls it around, and it actually rips your armor and shoves your armor down in a really uncomfortable position and gets the points exactly where they're supposed to be. Song, not wishing to fight, you feel it go around your neck and instantly just start kind of going wherever it is that they start leading you. Avok, you are the only one that doesn't have these things around, and you see one of the members of this group kind of move forward and remove his helmet. You see very familiar looking Eladrin ears, obviously an Eladrin, and he kind of turns to you. He's like, if you do not stop resisting, we will kill your friends.
Well, that's just rude. Hey,
And he
Bob, I'm
kind
too
of-
pretty. I'm too pretty.
Points to one of the guards who comes forward very slowly but deliberately and starts very slowly, just kind of matter-of-factingly attempting to put it around your neck.
Okay, well. For God's sakes. Well, Avok's gonna grab him before he can get around his neck and just show him, like, alright, you have to put the fruity little thing around my neck. Whatever.
All right. So the four of you are kind of dragged very roughly.
And he grabs his crotch in front of them, just to be like, yeah.
So the four of you in these neck apparati, if that's the plural of apparatus, are very roughly taken to this new opening in the wall and are shoved in there. And as soon as you guys are in there, you feel pressure on the back of your necks as they kind of push you forward, and you immediately think that because of how quickly they're pushing you forward, these things are going to go right in, and it's going to be the end. And suddenly you watch as the two prongs open, and you're just pushed forward without any damage, and you see Avok kind of saunter in after you guys. And as soon as everyone's in there, you see this massive stone wall basically slam down. And you're in kind of a very similar room to where you were before, except there's no bars separating one half of the room from the other, and there are no doors exiting this room. You're basically in a big stone box with very, very limited light. There's a little bit of light coming through some kind of like air holes in the ceiling, but beyond that, it's relatively dark.
Okay, normally people have to pay to touch me like that.
I missed you, Tama.
We all did.
This is great.
Ah,
That was humiliating.
I'm just gonna lay on the ground.
Hey, we have our heads. Let's keep that as a blessing, shall we?
And as Song says that, you guys instantly feel this tremor in the room, and the floor below you, the end furthest from you, drops
Fuck.
straight down, and the floor goes from a perfectly level plane to like a 75 or 80 degree angle drop.
Oh boy.
And you guys start tumbling, going through tunnels and things like that. You fall for a good 5 minutes, just kind of tumbling, and every time you try to get your grip, you notice that there's enough sand in this area that attempting to grip anything instantly is just washed away by the sand and this. And as you finally come to a stop, you guys all kind of land within about 5 feet of each other in a pile of sand. And as you start to get your bearings, go ahead and everyone make me perception checks.
I gotcha.
Let's do this.
Oh shit! Perception.
Nope. I'm eating sand. Don't worry about it.
23.
Wow. Okay.
Ow!
Perception.
thank God, someone.
15?
Okay. Elaine.
There you go.
21.
There.
Avok.
10.
Okay.
You're eating sand with Tom.
So, Song and Avok, you guys are attempting to get sand out of very uncomfortable portions of your anatomy. The rest of you three, as you're kind of brushing yourselves off, you kind of look, and you're in what looks like almost an underground city.
Oh boy.
It's nowhere near the size of the dwarven city that you visited before, but it's large enough that you could house a decent population here, like a few hundred people could live here very easily, and if you didn't care about personal space, you could probably fit maybe close to 1,000 people in here. You can see scattered around are buildings kind of similar to the buildings you saw on Corrin's Island, where they're just very box-like and very very simply made. You can see a few that the roofs have caved in. You can see a few buildings that are actually built out of various items that you think have been scavenged from wherever they can find them. And as you guys are sitting there, you start noticing people are starting to gather. And the people that are starting to gather do not look remarkably friendly. You can see a few have weapons brandished. Even more are kind of skulking through the shadows. Like you can see scars on them. Most of them are very heavily built. And they all just kind of stare at you from about 30 feet away. What would you like to do?
Hi?
They don't seem to react to you, Song.
That's what as far as I got. Guys?
You came from the same place we did?
As Kata speaks, one of them goes, "Magic!" and points at the magic longsword that, is it Avok or Elaine is holding it?
I think it's Avok.
Okay.
It's me.
That Avok is holding, and you see a frenzy starts. These guys start rushing towards Avok. Avok, you're slightly off guard, but having been in very desperate situations, slightly off guard for you is very different than most of them were considering. As they get close to you, your first reaction is to just swing the blade out, and it catches one of the people coming towards you, slicing him straight through his chest. He kind of flips over a little bit and starts bleeding out pretty heavily and runs away. The rest of them start kind of maneuvering themselves into positions where they're in a little bit more advantageous position to attack you without getting killed. They're just barely outside your range. What would you guys like to do?
Wait.
Free.
God.
Wait. Put the
Avok,
sword down.
We
Just
here
put it
to
to your
be
side.
allies, remember?
You can't let me have some fun. Apparently they want to have some.
Hang on, everybody. Just
As all this is happening, this incredibly large man comes from behind one of the buildings. You can see his head is shaved completely bare, and he actually has some sort of metal sticking out of the side of it about that far. You can't really tell what it is, but it's jagged and broken. And you can see he has these scars. He wears very little armor or anything, basically wearing a loincloth and a few like wraps and things like that. Scars all over his body, some of which have, you can see a few that looks like wounds that have just barely healed. And he comes forward, he's like, "You have not made your payment. This is my city, my arena. Since you are new here, we can forgive your ignorance. But you owe me tribute." And the rest of the group kind of murmurs and mutters and like, yeah, that's what it, yeah. Give us a sword. We want the magic. Give us the magic. My underlings have told me you happen to have some magical equipment. You have not been in the arena long enough to have the privilege of magical equipment. So that will be your gift to me. I will distribute it to those who deserve it far more than you pathetic wastes of space.
Well, Fade, it's your sword.
I'll find another.
ah.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm still used to yet.
Reasonable. Okay. You want tribute? Okay, I understand that. I completely understand that. This is your arena, right?
Sure.
So you say.
Are you arguing with me?
Not at all, good sir. I am.
And now his focus, like he had been ignoring you completely, his focus is now completely on Song. And he's like, that is interesting. And he starts just boldly walking right up to Song, very forcefully, and just gets really, really close, kind of looks you up and down. You've seen interactions like this before. He's like, you are special. You are different. I've never seen anyone like you. You would do
I get that
very, very well to learn who your friends are. And he gently kind of strokes your cheek. These are not your friends. They can't help you down here. In the arena, you live or die by sheer power. And so your friends should be those with the most power.
Hey, you're looking right at him, buddy.
And he seems to completely ignore you. I could be a
You
very, very good friend.
Question: does he have his back towards me?
He does. Not technically his back. He has his side towards you.
Nuts.
Yeah. Like, peripheral vision wise, you are out of his peripheral vision. But by the time you got within about 5 feet of him, you would be within his peripheral. If you made like a direct line towards him.
He's like 5 feet away from me.
He's about 15.
Uh,
Because you all landed within 5 feet of each other, but you didn't land on each other. So, you were on one side of the group. Song was on the other side. So he's staring at you, Song, kind of waiting for some sort of a response. He seems to be enjoying the idea that you seem slightly uncomfortable with how close he got. What would you like to do?
Clearly, this is not the first time that she has had someone, a male, approach her in this manner.
Yes, you are. This is something. The only thing that made you uncomfortable was the fact that you're jarred from everything that's happened.
Well, that and the fact that there's something sticking out of his head, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's
That's a different, yes, I mean, I will not fault him for his, outfit attire. I will not blame him for that at all. So she kind of just shakes it off, and instead of shrinking back, she actually makes a point to walk closer to him.
Oh God.
so now you're basically like because he was close enough that he was basically in your space at that point. And there's only about a few inches. So now you're basically kind of pressing up against him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see, despite the fact that his skin is relatively dark with grime and muck and things like that, you see a slight lightening of the skin tones around his face as you kind of press in, and you see him grin.
Interesting. Are you telling me that my companions, shall we say, let's not call them friends just yet, my companions are who have been with for quite some time, yet none of them have died, aren't as strong as your strongest warriors?
Oh. They may have seen fantastic things, but this is the arena. We are here to die. We face death every day. The only ones who survive more than one entry into the arena are those that are so powerful that we laugh in the face of death. These, and he makes like a broad gesture, they will not last. I have seen their kind. They are pathetic. And out of seemingly nowhere, you hear kind of a voice that sounds very out of place in this area, because everyone that's spoken thus far has had this kind of ingrained malice and contempt in everything that they've said, and just this anger. And you hear this very calm, almost soothing voice carry above the crowd. Well, Scar, seems that you've found some new friends, have you? I think you're being just a little bit, let's say, pessimistic about their chances. You have no idea what they fought, do you? And Elaine, I would like you to roll a history check.
No. Oh.
Go, baby, go!
Interesting.
History check.
Mhm.
Okay, straight 16.
You know this voice. You haven't heard this voice in over a decade, but you'll never forget it. The crowd parts, and you see a dwarf standing there. You can see one of his arms obviously has been amputated or lost in some way, and it has some bizarre contraption on it that looks relatively wicked. It's got some points to it and kind of a hook shape to it. You can see he's wearing this very used leather armor, and you can see scars on his face and on his hand that is mostly whole. You can see his beard. You assume at one point used to be red and now is gone mostly gray along with his hair. And he starts walking forward. So you think you've got the monopoly on strength here? And you see the creature in front of Song, who's now been identified as Scar, turns to him and goes, "We were not talking to you." Oh, well, it seems that I've invited myself to the conversation. You know what? And you see that all of the other gladiators here give him a very wide berth as he walks in. You can tell, like, quite a few of them seem afraid of him, which is weird for how calm he looks, and again, how just kind of nonchalantly he's talking. And so he walks up to within about 10 feet of Scar, and he goes, I don't think they want to join your little sorority. Perhaps you should just leave. Listen, this is how it works. This is my arena. You know, when new recruits come in, they must pay tribute to me. This is how it has worked for 5 years. Do you really want to talk about how it has worked in the past? I've been here longer than anyone of your pathetic little group. And I've been here longer than you, and I've allowed you to do what you want because you amuse me. And you see him kind of shake his mechanical arm, and it extends into this very wicked-looking serrated blade. Do you really want to find out what happens when you no longer amuse me? And you see Scar looking furious. Song, being as close as you are to him, you can see his muscles are actually trembling a little bit, probably from holding back whatever it is he wants to do. Fine. And he turns to the rest of you. You will pay your tribute. And then he looks over at this unnamed dwarf. Later. And he raises his hands and storms off, and all these other inmates follow him.
Charming.
The dwarf comes over and goes, I am so sorry that was your first introduction to society here. Welcome to the arena. You're going to die here. It's up to you to decide how long you suffer. Either become friends with Scar or avoid him. There is no in between, and if he decides that you are his enemy, you won't have to wait to die in the arena. He may be stupid, but he is as powerful as he says. He has survived here for 5 years, despite the arena master attempting to kill him left and right. He is ruthless, he is ugly, and he holds grudges. He points to a building relatively far off with this serrated blade. That building over there's previous occupants no longer have need of it.
Yeah.
You may rest there. But remember, you are here to die. If you choose to extend your life, you choose to do that through mastering the art of combat. And he turns and starts walking away. What would you like to do?
Hey, I can fight, you know.
He seems kind of unfazed. Elaine, you recognize his voice instantly, like you were instantly brought back, 10 or 15 years, being on the street, having someone, you know exactly who he is. You remember him much younger. You remember him before all the scars.
Yeah.
He seems completely oblivious to who you are and just walks past you.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
What is that?
Yeah.
As
Sir,
you
we didn't catch your name.
He turns around. He's like, Names do not have much use here. In the arena, I'm known as the Serrated Death. You can refer to me as that. That's what they all call me here. My true name, and you see him kind of reminisce almost. Like my family and my son, my true name has been lost to time. And as he's sitting there and kind of reminiscing, he kind of focuses on Elaine for a second. He goes, had he not been slaughtered, he would have been about your age by now.
Whoa.
Different times. A different lifetime, to be honest. And he starts walking away again.
Oh, yeah. Nice to make your acquaintance. I'm Avok. You can call me the Raging Bull. That's Faye, the Eladrin, whatever.
As you say
That
Eladrin,
song-
he spins,
Oh boy.
comes over, gets right up into Eladrin's chest area because he's a dwarf and can't really get into his face. He goes, I did not recognize the stench. What have you done to be banished to death? Such a lowly manner. Sleep with someone you weren't supposed to.
Oh, no, that would have been me. But no, that's not it. I mean, he's one of the good guys. I mean, technically. Right?
You speak an awful lot for
Yeah, that's what I do.
No shit.
not even sure what you are.
A
You
lady.
haven't figured that out yet. If that's what you're going to say.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's been a while since he's
Uh,
won, Avok.
Faye, do you want to explain what we're really doing here?
I don't trust this guy.
Oh,
Probably should.
darn
Well,
it.
I'm still
You didn't-
introducing us. Maybe that'll help the trusting. Anyways, yeah. Fade, that song,
I
the lady.
cannot for your names.
Well, that's
They
kind of,
will
that's
be
a way.
forgotten to time as soon as you are gone. It's impressive what you did, but that was simply the first salvo. It was meant to entertain. Nothing more. Your next battle may be entertaining, or with the fact that you have an Eladrin among you, may be a death sentence. They have creatures here you have never seen. And if you are declared to be dead, then you will be. I would distance, and he turns to the rest of you guys, I would distance myself from this one. He is not long for this world. I
appreciate it, but I'm
sincerely
good.
doubt he'll survive his next encounter in the arena. But rest up. There's little food to speak of. But if you make friends with a few of the residents around here, they may be able to share some bread, or perhaps show you where the only clean water is to drink from. Your fates are your own. I must prepare for my next bout. And again he turns to leave.
Whatever.
Come on.
So what would you guys like to do?
Go to where he directed us, I guess. We do need a rest.
Yeah, Avok's pretty exhausted.
I did frenzy.
That leaves me to go make friends.
I want to follow him.
Okay. Are you going to try to be stealthy about it, or just follow him?
I'm just gonna follow him.
Okay. So you guys, as you guys all start heading off towards that building, the building itself is about a 10-minute walk away. Like, he didn't point to anything close. It's about a 10-minute walk away. As you guys start walking down one of the streets down here, you watch Elaine kind of peel off from the group and go in the same direction as the Serrated Death.
Elaine.
I'll
Building's
be
this
back.
way.
Do we
I'll be
even...
back.
Okay.
So you guys get into this building. You notice a relatively large pile of hay in there. You see what looks like the remnants of a fire pit. That's really it. It's 4 walls, some hay, and a fire pit.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
Is the fire pit like still going, or is there just embers at this point?
There's nothing in the fire pit except some very, very old coals. Like no embers, no nothing, just some blackened. You're not even sure what it was that they were burning in it. And it's obvious the fire pit has not been used in days, if not weeks.
Yeah, there's something worse.
Maybe we should
Uh-uh.
Huh?
Nope, nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, 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 no.
Yeah.
This is disgusting.
This is life.
You cannot honestly tell me that you expect me to sleep in this.
I don't expect you to sleep in anything.
Well played. Well played.
You have inspiration for that.
Bye!
That was brilliant. That was so cool.
I think I get that.
So does that mean you're offering your body so that way I can lay on that? Because that would be more preferable to the hay.
Oh boy.
Whatever you want, just
So as this is happening,
I'm pretty sure I'm not as preferable.
like Avok, despite his kind of gruff exterior, with the fact that Song just kind of went with it, caught him slightly off guard. And so you guys watch as these two are kind of arguing, trying to see who can make the other one more uncomfortable. Neither one getting like a huge edge on the other one. As all this is happening,
Kata probably not getting what.
Anything.
Kata's just like completely
because-
over her head.
She's like, why are you?
Yeah, she has an intelligence of 8.
I believe in you.
Yeah, I just giggled because I accidentally went out of character.
Elaine, as you're walking, again, not making any attempt to hide yourself or silence your steps or anything. You're about 20 feet. You get to about like 20, 25 feet behind him and just kind of keep pace. If he does notice you, he doesn't make any acknowledgement of it. He just keeps walking a very deliberate pace. He'll make these random turns that seems like he knows exactly where he's going. And eventually you come to a building kind of similar to the one that you guys have, except there's no roof in it, and half the walls are kind of collapsed. The building itself looks older than a lot of the other buildings there, and definitely in bad need of repair. You can see that the walls themselves, because they're broken, you can see kind of their composition, and it looks like they do have a wooden frame that kind of like a cement type material is kind of flown over to create these like box places, and this one has just seen better days. So he sits down and he goes, "So, you followed me. Do you wish to end your life so soon? You seem to have promise. I was expecting you to last, at least half a dozen rounds in the arena before you succumbed."
That's the plan.
Why are you here, young one?
I remember you.
He kind of looks at you. You are a monstrosity. There's no chance you were ever in the stands here. They would not allow that.
Yeah, no. It's a long story, but
And he kind of looks more and more confused. What do you want? You see him kind of flick his mechanical arm and kind of switches around, kind of like on a gear or something like that. And it looks to have some sort of like flint and tinder type thing that he sits there and shakes at a pile of logs in a fire pit very similar to yours, except with something to burn in it. And he starts a fire there. Goes over to one of the walls that's been destroyed, reaches inside of it and takes out some rodent. You can't really identify it. And flicks his arm one more time, and it turns into just a straight spike. Skewers the thing, puts it over the fire, kind of ignoring you.
you may not remember or much care, but you helped me maybe about 10 years ago.
He sits there, he's like, 10 years ago, You're speaking of another lifetime. I'm certain that you enjoyed my company at one point, or perhaps were a regular customer in my sandwich shop. And for that I thank you, but I'm sorry, I do not remember much from that time. When on a
Well,
daily basis you meet creatures out of nightmares, they tend to help you forget.
well, regardless, you helped me back then. And I'm guessing since you helped me, you ended up here.
And when you say that, he immediately, like something clicks in the back of his head, and you see him just start to, like he sits down, almost falls down, and he kind of shakes his head, and he's like, you're older. You survived.
Yeah.
And then you see him flick his arm, and the serrated blade comes out again. And he pushes it up against your neck. You're the reason I had to watch my wife die. You're the reason I held my boy as he drew his last breath. You're the reason I am here. And yet, you come here unarmed. And he pushes you harder than you were really expecting. You fly back about 5 feet. Due to the fact that he switched gadgets while the rat was still on there, it went flying and landed in a mess on the wall, now completely inedible. He goes, leave.
Okay. I'm gonna just nod my head, and before I do, probably have some rations left over. I'm gonna leave him some rations and walk away.
So, Fade, you're rather enjoying this because for the last 10 minutes, Avok and Song have done everything they can to try and make each other as uncomfortable as physically possible. And you've just sat back and watched. Kata is still confused by a lot of the quips, and she keeps asking you for kind of translations, and you just watch. And after you guys are doing this, you guys suddenly notice Elaine walk in, very sullen.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he looks totally fine.
Everything's fine. Totally fine.
You're so
Okay.
Where'd you go?
For a walk.
Oh yeah, get the layout of the land.
Yeah.
And
Can one of us roll an insight check to see if he's
Sure.
telling the truth?
Go for it.
Okay. Alright, I'm not as good at insight as I am on perception, but I'll give it my best. One. Insight. 6.
Elaine, roll
rolled
me a deception check.
No, I rolled a 15.
dang.
Yeah.
You don't see.
I tried.
It's Elaine, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, every building looks the same. It's kind of a
Yeah.
shithole here. I don't want to stay here very long.
I mean, I know the architecture is depressing and all, but seriously, like, not even that look is on my face. And I have to sleep on a bunk.
What? What?
Long story. Okay, long story. You look like somebody pissed in your Cheerios.
Maybe somebody did.
Well, that's just rude.
Yeah, I know.
That's Cheerios.
Fade.
Cat doesn't know.
So
He's got nothing.
with you guys being completely underground, you have no idea what time it is. But you know when you were in the arena, it was roughly around midday, maybe early afternoon. And you've now been down here for maybe an hour. What would you like to do? Oh, and there are kind of like arcane sconces in various places
Shit.
that are providing the light down here so that everyone can see.
Well, so we have to pay tribute later about
Whatever
that.
that mean.
Well, they want all of our magical items.
Hmm.
And clearly,
Well,
I'm okay with that.
he had a luck with that axe. Cause Big Daddy has it.
Yeah, I'm still good with that.
Hmm. We'll get back. We will get back someday.
Yeah, but okay, while we deal with that problem later, let's deal with this problem now. We have a giant horde of people following that crazy thing, if you can even call it that. Very weird hat attire. And he wants everything that's important to us. So, thought process, anybody.
We ignore him. For one.
Okay, how long is that going to work? We don't even know how
Yeah.
long we're down here. And eventually, they're going to kill us. They can just kill us and take the stuff off our bodies.
Please. The way I see it, that whatever, that metal sticking out of his forehead guy, Scarred was the name.
Yes.
So lame. Pretty much, it's you take him out, they follow.
Unless
Those people
we don't
are
take him out.
followers. But what do you suggest?
Well, he likes me well enough. I mean, he acknowledges the fact that I'm special, so there's a twofer right there. At least someone here has taste. What? What?
Nothing. Just whatever.
All I'm saying is, can't we use that to our advantage?
You mean you pretend to betray us to him?
It's not really what she's thinking.
No, but that could
Okay.
work.
Okay.
He acknowledges that I'm different.
He acknowledges that you have a downstairs that he wants.
Like most men, yes.
He wants your tail.
I mean, that's kind of attached. Okay. So, isn't it possible to use that as an opportunity? That's kind of like a golden door right there for us.
to close the door for him, really, but
You
Enough
sure?
with the sex jokes. Not funny.
You
It's
sure?
pretty
hey,
fun.
you bring it on yourself.
You sure it's the right thing to do, though?
The less bloodshed that we have to deal with, the better. I mean, let's face it, we can't exactly take all of them on by ourselves. Even I have to admit, our chances of beating them all are highly unlikely.
True.
Just
But- Oh, God. Even I have my limits. And weird hat attire is kind of one of them.
You guys also remember the entire reason you came here was to get really strong people
Yes!
to
Yes!
train your troops. So,
Yes!
Hmm.
What if we could... I don't know. I don't know. What if we could hypothetically get him out?
You
That'd
need,
be
you need to
something.
talk to him and see if that's what he wants. See what he wants. If he wants that, we can get him out.
Can we?
Yes. If there are any Eladrin guards here in this arena, yes.
there are. You have seen them.
But the problem is that he's doing mighty comfortably here.
Mm-hmm.
What could we guarantee him that would give us leverage?
A chance at life, not certain
has-
death.
He doesn't need certain death. I mean, he's got everything that he needs right now. He's got an army. He's got people paying him tribute. Fade! He's like a god!
No,
You
we
should
should
go tell him that. He probably likes to hear that.
Kind of like you. Ugh.
Well, I know I am. Or will be shortly.
Yeah, and I'll be here
As
to knock
much
you
as
down.
Fade's
Your
head
peg.
just gets bigger and bigger.
Has to be weak spots somewhere.
Something that he wants. Something that he needs. What? What am I missing?
You said no more sex jokes.
You're the worst. You're the worst!
Well, we're not doing anything with this hoard of money.
No, money means nothing down here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't bring your large stacks of cash.
Oh, okay.
You guys probably would have thought that was a bad idea.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, is it just us at the moment? Like, we were able to say all this without getting overheard for sure?
As far as you can tell, I mean, obviously, you know, if you want to look to see if there's anyone outside your doorway, because there are no doors, you could. But when you came in, no one was anywhere near. Like there was no one near you guys.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you are one of probably a dozen houses along this street, and sound carries underground. So, you know, your guess is as good as mine as far as who all can overhear you, or who all would even care to overhear you.
So, do we want to try to convince him with a show of force, or do we want to try to convince him with stating whatever needs he might have? I think that's the decision right now. If you don't think we can give him anything that he wants or doesn't already have, then we need to show him who is in charge and who's going to win this fight.
Right, by force. That would be our next bet. The only way that we would be able to know is if somebody went and talked to him about it and asked him what he wanted. Oh. Oh.
I mean, if you want to just like leave most of those clothes here, I'm sure it'll help. I just want to watch you walk away, that's all.
At least you finally admit it.
I never did admit it. I mean, I hate you, but you look all right.
I mean, the feeling's mutual, but I think you look all right too. So.
Well, all right then.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
All right, sorry, you're jumping in and out, Kata. I'm going to very quickly just refresh the page. I will be right back. Well, technically, we're going to keep streaming. It's just I'm refreshing the Roll20 window, so y'all shouldn't see anything strange
Like,
happening.
Avak would want to straight up fight him. I would want to trickery fight him. It's not out of the realm of possibility that we can defeat him. Avak is just a beast, and I've got stuff to just freeze him in place and kill him.
The question is whether or not the rest of his groupies will allow you to do it by yourself.
Which is why you need to convince him to trial by combat, one-on-one.
Why?
Or him and his best friend against our best people.
He would be his best.
Well, he knows violence. So if that's what we have to give him, then...
That's his language.
You guys suddenly hear this ear-shattering sound, like the loudest trumpet blast
Stop
you've
talking.
ever heard. And
I hate you so much!
you hear, you guys feel the ground kind of rumble and shake. And suddenly you hear yelling and things from outside. Some of it in Eladrin.
Translation?
Yes, please.
The rest of you guys can hear, it sounds like guards are rounding up people for another round in the arena. You actually see a couple guards go right past the room that you guys are in and just kind of walk past you. They go to the building next to you and rip out two younger-looking boys, both of whom are human. And they kind of start getting dragged off to, you're assuming, wherever the entrance to the arena is. And you can hear other people getting dragged off, and it starts to dawn on you guys that you're not exactly sure the next time you're going to just be kind of dragged into the arena. It could be within the next 5 minutes. You really don't know. So, and I believe you guys are still pretty drained from the combat you just had. So.
But that's kind of a short rest.
No. The conversation and everything has been a little bit too strenuous for you to really count it as a short rest. But you are in a fairly well defensible place. You know, you're in a rock box with only one entrance. If you guys wanted to try and take either a short or a long rest here, you probably wouldn't have too much difficulty doing it. What would you like to do?
Yeah, that's gotta happen. So hold on a second. So, Song, that tiny hut, the thing that we sleep in, is that invisible or can they see us?
I believe it can be camouflaged.
Then straight up, let's go take a nap. They open the door, we're not there. They freak out. They come back later. We'll be awake.
The dwarf did say that it was the previous occupants were no longer in need of it, so chances are they might just think it's abandoned.
Right.
But what happens if they step foot in here? Then we have a problem.
Then they realize we're there, and then we'll wake up and deal with it then, but at least we can try.
All right.
We did just fight, you know.
All right. If that's what you want, then let's do it.
All right.
So you guys
inside this hut, are there like bunk beds or something like that?
Hey.
basically like a dome, a magical dome.
The pleasure dome. Got it.
So you guys watch his song starts to sing a song with words that you can't really understand. And as she sings, the music starts to take physical form, and you see this dome appear around her, large enough for all of you to fit inside, with a little bit of room to spare, not a ton. And song, you can make it translucent from the inside or opaque, if you want, and the outside as well, separately. So it can be like camouflage on the outside, see-through
Yep.
from the inside.
Yep, that's what we need.
Okay. So you guys can all see kind of a shimmering wall of magical energy, but can see through it to the outside. Now, with the camouflage, it's not like you guys are invisible. You've basically been painted to look like the back wall. If someone were to come in and shift their perspective or something like that, they'd be able to tell that something was there. Like it's like a paint job.
Yeah. How about one of us take turns keep watch?
I'll keep watch. I'm the
Okay.
one who didn't do anything. I didn't do anything last trial, so I'm fine. You guys go ahead and get as much rest as you need. I'll keep an eye.
All right, I'm going to real quick refresh the page to see if I can get Avok back. Hold on a sec. There we go.
Yeah, you can.
It is impressive about how well this video chat works in Roll20. Roll20, we really do love you, but seriously, fix the video chat. Like that's the whole reason we use you. So you guys are able to get a long rest. Avok, your one level of exhaustion is removed.
Awesome sauce.
Beyond that, when you guys wake up, despite being in the hut and everything like that, you wake up kind of refreshed, but just everything around you is so oppressive and everything that you still don't feel great. Like you just kind of feel a little bit off of your game. And not having any natural light in here or anything like that, like this is just a very impressive and environment. It just, everything around you is just sucks. But you are able to get the effects of a long rest.
All right.
You guys do find out that of the rations that you'd kind of brought with you, 90% of them are gone. You basically have enough food for today, and then you will be out.
Okay.
If only I could create food or water. Oh, wait.
Ah!
Yeah, it's one of the perks of having a cleric with you. What can I say?
Oh, yes, it is.
Boom.
I'll burn a spell. Tell you what, actually.
I think
Cock-
druids have a spell too that makes.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't have it prepped right now.
Hey, Kata, how about this? You give me that lone stone, I fill it with a create food and water after we use this one, and then we can have another one for after that. And you can feed us whenever you want to. Or not.
Okay.
That I was in the middle of switching out spells.
All right. You want me to go deal with him?
So you're going to try to find out what he wants and or bait him into a fight one-on-one with one of us.
Or at least make the offer sound tempting enough.
Yes. Tell him we're the new big kids on the block.
Yeah, that's gonna go over really well.
I'll wait till Avok's with you.
Well, that's the plan. Actually, Avok, I could actually use your help, but I'm gonna have you agree with everything I say.
Yeah, Avok, I'm not going.
You guys see little bits of steam going out of Avok's ears.
Avok begrudgingly just nods.
Okay. I promise I won't make it awkward. For you.
So you guys head off. You actually have no idea where this guy is.
Yeah, that's what I must ask.
Yeah, remarkably enough, everybody else does. So you guys have no problem finding the equivalent of a mansion down here. The place that he inhabits has been, let's call it, redecorated. He's taken multiple of these small little buildings and have kind of reshaped them into a very large place. And as you get there, the guards in front of it kind of look Song up and down, kind of shake their heads, and do nothing to stop you from going in, even after looking, seeing Avok with you. They just shake their heads. And as you come in, you see a relatively large room with a very makeshift throne. You can see the chair itself is made with pieces of rubble and things like that, and some bones that you're relatively certain didn't come from animals, and a few other things. But he's sitting there very confidently, and he watches you come, and he's like, I knew you would eventually come to your senses. So where is my tribute?
Tribute, right.
Are
As you
you
asked.
to be my tribute?
Oh, honey, I'll be anything you want me to be.
And he seems rather pleased with this. What about the rest of your companions? Your tribute will pay for your tribute, not the rest of theirs, like the oaf there.
Song immediately puts on the most insane pouty face you can imagine. And fake tears begin to well up in her eyes. You mean I'm not good enough?
Roll me a deception check.
Oh,
This is gonna be bad. Okay. Oh God.
So you see him stand up off of his...
I'm gonna give her my inspiration.
Okay.
Re-roll it.
Okay.
Take
She
it.
did. She...
Oh,
Technically,
Right, yeah.
the inspiration just means that she
Oh.
gets to take the 13 instead of the 9. The nat 1.
That's better.
So you
Still
see him
better.
kind of stand up, walk towards you as, real tears actually started to roll down your face. Like, you've gotten really good at this. Like, you can cry in command now and everything.
Oh yeah.
And so you're sitting there and you're pouting, and Avok, you, having dealt with more feral humanoids, because that's what you were trained to be, you instantly recognize kind of the gait that he's taking. And you're not able to react before he gets close enough, but he walks right up to Song, puts his hand around her throat and just lifts her up to his eye level by her throat. And he goes, no, you are not worth that much. You are merely a curiosity for me. And now I'm bored. And he throws Song into Avok. Which, again, due to the fact that she's not the largest, heaviest creature in the world, really doesn't affect you a ton. You're able to catch her without too much difficulty. He goes, "Leave. You can talk to me if you survive your next bout in the arena. Do not return before then." And he kind of turns around and goes onto his throne, and you guys start seeing the guards from outside coming in, pointing sharp, jagged objects in your direction and encouraging you to leave.
How about this? Let me talk.
I
survive our next
said leave
If we
while
survive
you
our next bout,
can.
will you fucking listen? If we survive our next fucking bout in the goddamn arena, why not a little trial by combat? Me versus you little shits.
You are not worth the effort it would take to crush you. Now leave. And you feel a sharp pain in your back as something sharp pierces your skin a little bit. One of the kind of spear holders has gotten a little bit antsy, and while trying to convince you to leave, has put too much pressure on and has broken skin. Nothing remarkably damaging, but enough to draw blood.
I just, I finger on my blood. That will cost you later. I'm going to warn you right now.
Avon,
Okay?
calm down, gentlemen. This is interesting. Song kind of her pouty stance immediately just deteriorated, and now she's actually smirking, almost as if she's the one who's now entertained by him.
He seems to have just completely lost interest. Like he's not even looking at you guys anymore. He's just kind of relaxing. There's a rather large plate of some unidentifiable meat, obviously not rodent.
Yeah.
And he just starts digging into that.
Come on. Clearly you were right.
He has no interest.
And nor do I think he would be good enough. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm assuming you said that out loud.
I did.
He seems completely unfazed.
Okay.
Yeah, too much of a pansy to take me on.
So as you guys leave, again, completely unfazed by everything that you're saying. As you guys leave, it takes you about 5-10 minutes to get back to your little home for right now. But you do arrive back there. Elaine, Kata, and Fade, you guys see Avok and Song come in. You see Avok kind of reaching behind him every so often, and every time he does, he comes back and his hand has a little bit of blood on it.
Lovely.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
So, we just have to prove that we're strong enough then.
That's essentially how it is.
Fine with me.
Unrelated. Obviously, the guy that sold us out down here that got paid and just left us to rot. Whose friend was that? Was that One Eye's friend, or was that our captain's?
You're actually not sure. The specifics of the plan were never 100% explained to you. As far as relationships of who knows who, you do know that was the guy that was supposed to be able to ensure your escape when you found enough gladiators. So he was your ticket out.
Oh.
Okay. So how'd it go, guys? I see you're bleeding, Avok. How's that going?
Tis but a scratch. Anywho.
If we want any information, clearly we're going to have to prove our strengths.
And as you say that, again, that loud, almost screeching sound starts ringing out throughout the entire city here. And you guys feel vibrations to the floor, and then you see guards coming through, and one of them comes in to your area and goes, "You with me now?"
I thought you'd never ask.
And he kind of
Let's do
waits for
it.
you guys to go, and because you guys are taking, you aren't like jumping immediately. He grabs Kata by the arm and just rips her out of the room.
Hey, get the fuck back here!
I'll go.
He lets go of her as soon as she's out of the room. Like, he basically just throws her to the floor outside. He said, "I said move now."
Pretty please always
Yeah.
works better.
Yeah, Ava just like walks into. We're fucking coming. Bing.
And he kind of pushes you very fast. Like, you're a little bit disoriented with how quickly they're kind of shoving you through places. And then, just like before, what looked like a solid wall opens up to reveal a passage, and they're pushing you through various places, and you eventually end up in, it could be the same room you were in before. You have no idea. But again, it's a square room. There are bars in the middle. You guys know that the wall opposite the bars will open up to the arena, and there's a door on the other side.
And Fade, the shit just got personal.
Okay. What do you want to do about it?
Oh, we're gonna make a point.
I'm down.
Oh man, I just love hearing it.
No holding back?
Man, that's no fun.
I don't
You
know
want-
back to begin with.
That's
Fuck
true.
basically said, "I love it when you talk dirty."
So much innuendo tonight.
I know.
Not when I was. No, whatever.
As you guys are sitting there, kind of waiting, preparing so that as soon as it opens, you can get to a good spot and, be able to defend yourselves. 10 minutes pass, 20, 30, an hour, 2 hours.
Is it just us in this thing, or how many
Yeah,
other people?
the room itself is not. Again, it's a it's a 15 by 15 room. Wait, math is hard.
Stage go, kids.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a 15 by 15 room that's divided in half, or a 20 by 15 room that's divided in half with bars dividing the two halves. So there's not a ton of room to have more than like half a dozen people in a room this size.
Yes.
But yeah, you can hear from above. There is a crowd, but the walls are so thick, you can't really hear if they're cheering or booing or anything like that. Every so often, through the wall that opens to the arena, you will hear the same announcer voice that you heard before. But again, it's so muffled you can't tell what they're saying. What do you guys want to do?
I want
Elaine?
to.
Go ahead.
I want to look at these bars and see if I can just pry a couple loose. I want some metal spears for later.
Sure.
Like in here, I want to try to work a couple of these bars loose. I don't want to take them, but I want to be able to take them later.
Make me a straight up intelligence check.
You got this?
Probably not 13.
Kind of looking at it and assessing the situation. The way that these bars are built is they go into the ground and into the walls relatively deep from what you can see.
Okay.
They're not meant, like, there's no doorway or gateway to get through them. They're simply there so that communication can happen. And just kind of judging just kind of examining them, you can't come up with an idea that would let you do that.
Okay. Well, let's let
But you
Song
do know
talk
the
to
last time you were you ran out to the arena, they had weapons racks out there.
Oh, I
They're
just
not
want more
great.
weapons in here. That's all.
Makes sense. Yeah, the bars just don't seem like a possible. Anything the rest of you guys want to do while you're kind of chilling here?
Elaine, I might have an idea.
Yeah.
The minute that those doors swing open, let me touch you. Avok?
What about us?
I'm sorry, you started it. Like, I'm not going to apologize.
I don't.
The moment the tiefling came back.
I'm sorry! I ruined everything!
Just the walking, talking innuendo, guys.
So anyway, she says that to you, Elaine, and you respond.
Why? What are you planning?
Something that you'll like.
No.
And as she says that, you guys feel a shudder, and the wall in front of you starts to open up. And like before, the door on the other side opens, and you see these guards with very, very long spears come through and start kind of thrusting them in your general direction to encourage you out.
Yes. We're going.
Gentlemen, this is no way to encourage a lady. I can show you later.
As you guys
Put the
get
little
out,
boys down.
you hear the crowd erupt in noise. Half of it is cheering and things like that. You can hear boos and the word traitor being thrown out in multiple languages this time. Last time it was just Eladrin that they were saying, and now it's common. Does anyone speak anything other than Elvish and common?
Dwarf.
Orc.
I speak primordial and Terran.
Infernal and Abyssal.
Yeah.
We got some demons in
So
the crowd,
no one
guys.
speaks Infernal and Abyssal. However, you do hear in both Dwarven and Orcish, simply because the word traitor is a swear word in Orcish. You guys hear the
That is
word
true.
traitor being elicited in both of those languages. You guys come out, the door kind of slams shut behind you, and as your eyes adjust to the light, you notice something very, very different. The last time you were in this arena, it was basically a big circular thing, 30-foot high walls, and sand. And this is not that. You guys can see the ground itself looks like hardened lava. You can see there's a river of lava kind of cutting its way through the arena. You can see there are little mounds of and higher elevation things that go up about 10 feet, almost like I can't remember the term for it. What do you call like a mountain with a flat top? Is that
Plateau.
a bluff? What?
Plateau.
Plateau. There we go. See these kind of plateaued little platforms in various areas, and the walls themselves are kind of covered in this kind of hardened lava, black igneous rock everywhere. It's very hot. Oh shit! Hold on a second.
This is my kind of a place.
I may have described the wrong arena.
Oh!
This is like 5 fights in the future.
No, I just have a shit ton of different things prepared for you guys, and the one that you're going to deal with right now, what do they do?
So, Song, just so you know, so I'm the traitor. Everyone just hates my guts. So I'm playing it up. I'm trying to be like the WWE bad guy.
Yeah,
So-
I kind of figured.
You're
I
a
kind
heel.
of figured.
I'm gonna get real visible and do some-
Eladrin, I mean, you know.
I did
What
describe that
WWE?
wrong. So again, very different from what you saw before. But this world looks, the arena looks almost alien. The walls themselves are covered in what looks like misshapen glass and things like that. You can see there is sand and there's jagged rocks in various places, and every so often you will see entire areas that look like molten glass that's just kind of recently dried.
Cool.
You can see these crystalline structures and things like that, and again, various elevations and stuff like that. The arena itself has changed drastically. And as you guys are sitting there and Fade's kind of hamming it up, you hear the announcer, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have brought the traitor out yet again to pay for his crimes. Our last exotic bout was not enough to crush this disgusting, horrible creature. And so
they're
this
not wrong.
time, we are taking out all the stops. His executioner has arrived. And as he says that, you see again big double doors start to open up, and as they open up, you see a flash of lightning shoot out of it. The whole world becomes stark, kind of bluish white as this bolt of lightning shoots out. And you guys see from on the other side of this door this large creature. You see rows and rows of sharp, jagged teeth and horns around the creature's blue head. You can see the neck goes down into thick, leathery wings and 4 really strong, clawed legs. And you guys see a blue dragon
Oh,
What? Why
From
does
the
it get
other
a light
side.
show?
And you see, kind of encouraging the creature to come out, these 2 humanoids. You can't really tell what race they are because they're on the other side of this 100-foot wide arena. But they're kind of shooting spells and stuff at this creature to encourage it to come out. The dragon itself is foaming at the mouth. You can see its eyes are wild. It's almost feral, which, Elaine, with your connection to dragons in general, you know very well that this is not natural. This is not how dragons are in general. The rest of you guys, other than seeing the one that, blessed Elaine, you've never seen a dragon before other than, hearing stories about them. So this is terrifying. And it comes out, "Now you will see him ripped apart by this fearsome blue dragon and its handlers." And I'd like
False
everyone
promises.
to roll for initiative for me,
oh,
if you don't mind.
I do mind.
Crap.
I mind a lot.
I mind everything. Does it matter?
I mind this entire episode.
Everything.
So, Jordan,
Surprisingly enough, it doesn't.
so if this guy does any more talking during this fight, I'm going to, if I have the presence of mind, I want to cast a sending spell and put a word or two in his mouth to make it seem like he's maybe turning on to my side. Like right when he's in the middle of a speech, like when he's like, "To be killed or not." Like I'm going to try to put that in his head so he just says it.
Okay.
Do it.
He seems to be done speaking this time,
Okay,
but
maybe.
maybe next time. Avok, what you got?
17.
Elaine,
20.
Kata,
10.
Fade,
13.
and Song.
17.
All right. So Avok and Song, you guys tied. Which one of you would like to be first?
What's your dexterity, Tom?
14.
Okay, I go first then.
Yep.
All right. So before either of you two go, it is going to be Elaine. Again, because they've come in, they're roughly about 70 feet away from you, and the dragon itself is large. So not nowhere near the size of the ancient dragon that you guys have all seen before, but it's a dragon. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna strafe. I'm just gonna like kind of just kite it about my movement speed, 30 feet to the right. Just
Okay.
and I'm gonna hold my action for whatever song was gonna do.
Okay. So you guys watch Elaine just dart to the left, looking like he's basically just repositioning himself and readying himself. For readying an action, it's an if-then type thing. So once Song does something, what do you plan to do?
I don't know.
So
What are things I can do? How far away is it?
again, it's about the dragon and the two humanoids are about 70 feet away.
About 70 feet.
So if you used your full movement without cunning action, you would get within 40 feet of them. With cunning action, you could get within 10.
Yeah. I'm not gonna rush into that. That's a dragon. Okay. Okay. I don't know how to D&D anymore.
I know.
I'm
What's being
emotionally
D&D?
unstable right now.
What do?
You messed me up, Jody, with the dwarf. I can't think straight. Okay.
Do you
Yeah,
want
I'm
to just
gonna.
end your turn, or what do you want to do?
I'm gonna whenever she does whatever she was gonna do, I'm gonna probably just fire with my crossbow at something. Probably
Okay.
the dragon.
All right. So you guys watch as Elaine kind of darts away, prepares a crossbow, and brings it up. As he does that, the two humanoids start moving a little bit, and I have to look at their stat blocks.
They're slow and not ranged.
Oh, and now I can't remember when these level up.
Yay.
Cantrips are fun.
I know magic.
Yeah, there was loads.
So, you got
I'm
any
so
fun-
prepared for this. It's amazing.
I know, right?
There we go. It starts with a bloody E. No idea why I can't remember any of this stuff.
David, you cut out.
I'll refresh it in just a second.
Okay.
That's what it is. Okay. I just had to remember when these things level up, because cantrips...
Oh, there you are.
There. God, I gotta get this windscreen fixed. All right, so the creature, the two humanoids come out, and the first one points a rod at Elaine, since he's the only one that's done anything aggressive thus far.
All I do is move.
And you see three beams of kind of green energy shoot at you. Boy, that sucks. Wow. Does a 9 hit you?
No.
13?
I don't think so. No.
Hell of a lot more. 23.
Maybe.
All right, so two of them go, and you kind of dodge out of the way, but the third one hits hard and does 1d10. I'm just going to roll this because it's an actual spell. It does 6 force damage as it slams into you. The other one, very quickly, I am going to just refresh so we can get Avok back. Got 5, so if I do 6. Do I have anyone? Seriously? Is now when it's going to decide it doesn't want to work? Why did everything stop? There we go. I've got most people back, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Roll 20. Get your shit together.
Yes. Hey.
I'm going to roll for it. 1, 2, 3. Fade. You get 3 blasts at you. 23. Higher than that. And 19.
Yep.
All right, so they hit you 3 times, for a total of 3d10 damage. It's 9 plus 18, 28 force damage. Because I rolled 2 9s and a 10. And that is the end of their turn. And they kind of spread away from the dragon a little bit. The dragon
Oh god.
is next because he rolled super high.
Yeah, get your saving throws ready, everyone.
And the first thing he does is he rears back, inhales, and you guys see a bolt of lightning come streaking towards you. And since Elaine was the only one that was able to get away, I'm only going to be able. One of you is going to be completely safe from this, and that is going to be Kata.
Fine.
Dragon is breathing lightning at you.
Yes.
I
Because
need.
that's what blue dragons do.
Dexterity saving throw, I'm assuming.
Yep,
Yeah.
dex save from Fade Song and Avok.
$23.
All right.
Gotcha.
What'd you get, Avok?
Yeah, he's gone.
We'll come back to him. Song, what'd you get?
He got an 18. I got 16.
You all save. So
Yay!
you're only going to take half of 55 lightning damage. So that brings that down to 27.
That's lightning
Lightning
damage
damage.
that we could never do.
I'm glad I moved.
I'm sorry, what?
Took
You
27
took
points
27
of lightning
points of lightning damage. And the creature moves forward a little bit to within... What do I got for speed on this dude?
Ow.
A lot.
No.
40. That's even funnier. Yeah, he moves about 40 feet forward. So now he's only about 30 feet away from you guys.
Right.
Next up is going to be Avok. I'm going to try refreshing one more time to get this to work. Technical difficulties are the greatest things in the world. Come on. Come on. Start working again. Roll 20, you were doing so well for so long, and then you had to make up your own thing, and it sucks so bad. Like, it's so bad. Why do you keep doing this? Got nothing. Lovely. All right. I'm fresh out of ideas here. Let's try doing this because this used to work. No, that would be far too easy. You guys hear me now? Of course not. Roll 20, I super duper hate you right now. It was getting really good. It really was. Now you're ruining a cool fight. It took me a long time to plan, and I feel like crap. And you don't care. Curse you, Roll 20. Trying to get this to fix. Wait a minute, did I hear someone?
Sorta.
Hey, it's Elaine. Hi.
Yay. Refreshing works.
Yes.
Oh, I see one person.
All right, I have Song.
Hi.
You
I
have
have
a
Kata.
song?
I have Fade.
I have only you.
All we're waiting for is Avok, whose turn it is.
LOL.
I have no one else.
You
But Jody.
only have me? That's
Yes.
hilarious. Go ahead and refresh one more time, see if that helps.
I don't even see that.
Yeah, I only have you two now.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I've only got you too.
No. Did not change anything.
This is so funny.
You hit us so hard, you knocked us all out of the game.
Cool.
That's what it was. It was just I hit you with lightning breath, and that.
Dude,
Okay.
it's the lightning breath, power surge. You
I'm
killed
the
us
only
all.
one that lives. As far as I can tell.
All right, I'm gonna try and do this. We will come back to Avok's turn whenever we can get him back.
Actually, I still don't see except for you.
And that's still a no.
I
I
can't
can
see.
see. I can see all of you guys except for Avok.
Oh.
And I can't see anyone but Jody.
So I
I
will
got shit.
translate, basically.
Oh, there's a fade. I
Here's
see Dave.
David.
You can see David?
Oh no, he disappeared.
Oh,
You guys
that's
can see
great.
David, but I can't see David. Oh, dear Lord.
I can't see him either.
It's like Christmas lights, blinking lights everywhere.
Oh, my.
What the?
It was working. Just FYI. Their new chat thingy only works in Chrome and Firefox. So if you're using Edge, I don't know why you're using it, but that might be why it's not working. Hi. Can you hear me, Avok?
I can hear you.
Oh, this is seriously annoying.
I really hate cutting off fights in the middle. But if I can't get Avok,
Yeah. I'm getting nobody.
Yeah. I think I'm just. I'm really sorry, guys. We'll pick this fight up.
Yeah.
Next session, but I can't run a fight when none of my players can talk to each other.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Elias, I have tried turning it off and on again. Thank you for that.
A
A for effort.
Come back.
Love you, Elias. Never change.
Nope.
For
Yes,
right now,
Kata, it's
because
your
we're
fault.
having massive issues, I'm gonna try and come up with a better chat system to use next week because the Roll20 video chat is so unreliable. But at least for this week, my meds are starting to wear off, so I'm probably not going to be able to finish this fight anyways. So we will continue this fight next time. If you've missed any of the episodes, I actually have every single episode of Kingdom of the Kael Isles up on my YouTube channel, except for this one because we're recording it right now. So feel free to check that out. It's youtube.com/trainerjody. You can follow me on Twitter because I tweet about this stuff. I'm at Trainer Jody there. I'm kind of boring like that. I'm Trainer Jody everywhere. Except Instagram because I don't have it. So yeah, I'm going to end this because my medications are starting to wear off. But thank you for watching. And
I see people and I hear people.
I see.
Unfortunately,
Song.
we're
I hear
going to
song.
sign
That's
off
it.
here because no one can talk to each other.
Got a Jody.
Actually, we all can. I think the only thing that David has to do is actually just completely exit out of Roll20 and then sign back in.
well, I'm still gonna go ahead and end the the session here because again, meds are fun.
Yeah.
But yes, I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye bye.